We all know this real estate market is on fire, and if you're a landlord that owns a rental property, you may want to be thinking about cashing in on this red hot market. If you are wanting to sell your tenant-occupied rental property, you must know and understand what to expect and the best practices to sell your rental property, or if you should even sell your rental property while the tenant is occupying the property. Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in today. My name is Job with the Listing Real Estate Management. Here we specialize in managing single-family homes, condos, townhomes, and multifamily properties throughout Central Florida. Tenant-occupied rental homes are much harder to sell than vacant homes that are ready for showings. Long story short, it can be a huge inconvenience and challenge showing an occupied home to prospective buyers. In this video, you are going to learn how to sell a tenant-occupied property and what you need to know as a landlord. First off, read and follow the terms of your lease agreement. Your lease agreement should clearly state how the sale of the rental property will operate if you do decide to sell during the occupancy. Important clauses to look for in your lease agreement are going to be the sales provision clause, entry notification for showings. It's important to know how much notice you need to provide your tenant. Notices once the property is sold, security deposit transfer notices after closing. If you do not follow the terms of your lease agreement when it comes time to selling your rental property, we can best believe your tenant will not follow the terms as well, and it's not likely for the cooperation to go through smoothly during the sales process. Keep in mind, you just can't kick your tenant out of the property just because you want to sell. Tenant relations matter when wanting to sell your tenant-occupied property. If your tenant does not like you, chances are they will not cooperate with the sale of your rental property. If you are a self-managing rental owner, tenant relations are extremely important. If you have a healthy relationship with your tenant, it can be the difference between the property being sold quickly or an expired listing. Provide sufficient notice. There's nothing worse than a random person showing up to your house. If you do not provide sufficient notice for your property tours, then the home will show terribly, and they likely won't be able to get access. We always suggest showing and entering a tenant-occupied property around the tenant's schedule. As the landlord, you have to understand that your tenant also has a life, juggling work, family, activities just like you. Being considerate of your tenant's time and knowing that they have a right to quiet enjoyment of the property they lease, and scheduling the best time for them is likely going to help smooth the sales process. Ask your tenant, are there days and times that work best for showings for you during the sales process? At the Listing Real Estate Management, we always check with our tenant's schedule and or arrange a convenient day and time of week that works best for their schedule to have the property showings. We group showings as open houses. That way we respect the tenant's time and their schedule. Think about it. If you had one showing every single day of the week, your tenant's going to be extremely upset. Group your showings to once or twice a week at a specific time. Consider a buyout and letting your tenant go. We have seen rental property owners in the Orlando area needing to sell their property fast. If you are a landlord that needs to sell your property fast, then you may want to consider letting your tenant vacate the property early without penalty, or even having to offer a buyout to them. If you have a solid relationship with your tenant and provide ample amount of time to move, typically your tenant will be willing to work with you. Letting your tenant out of their lease early may seem like a bad idea, but if you are in need of selling your rental property, this could do the trick. So what is our opinion of selling a tenant-occupied property? If your home is a single-family home, we always suggest to never sell a tenant-occupied property. We always advise our homeowners and real estate investors to just wait until the tenant's lease expires. 12 months goes by very fast, and if you decide to lease out your property, do what you were agreeing to and let the tenant stay till the end of their lease term. Of course, this all depends on the type of property. Some investment properties are absolutely more valuable with quality tenants occupying the property. If you have a multifamily rental property, it's more valuable if the property is tenant occupied, performing well, then of course you wouldn't want them to move out of the property. If you are a current client with us here at the Listing Real Estate Management and you are thinking about selling your rental property, please reach out to us. We have the resources, team, and system in place to effectively sell your tenant occupied investment property. Let us know and an agent will reach out to you and get the ball rolling to achieve the highest possible sales price in the shortest amount of time for your tenant-occupied property. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button below, subscribe to the channel here, and we'll be providing more information. Take care out there. Cheers.